changing Egypt.
I will stay on the air if I can until the police come
in a special program, AlJazeera gives you a day-by-day account from those that witnessed them firsthand. Egypt burning, at this time on AlJazeera.
Time right now for the sport. Here's Stuart.
Yes, thanks. Next to the Cricket World Cup first, Pakistan now have 2 wins out of 2 in the competition after shocking the home side Sri Lanka to win their second Group A match by 11 runs. Yunus Khan and Misbah-ul-Haq were the batting heroes for Pakistan in Colombo. The 4th wicket pair put on 106 runs, with Misbah top scoring with 83 not out, as Pakistan made 277 from their 50 overs. In reply, Sri Lanka slumped to 96 for 4 in front of their home fans. And Pakistan captain Shahid Afridi removed his Sri Lankan counterpart Kumar Sangakkara for his 300th one-day international wicket. Sri Lanka eventually fell 11 runs short at 266 for 9, and Pakistan are now top of Group A.
It's a good habit. Winning should be a good habit, you know. So we're trying to win every game, play hard, play with our strength. Maybe in the next 1-2 games, maybe we make some changing. We give rest to 1 or 2 guys. Otherwise, we will play definitely each and every game with this over strength.
Now, Pakistan, of course, without 3 of their top players, the former captain Saman Butt and the fast bowlers Mohammad Amir and Mohammad Asif, who were all found guilty of spot fixing earlier this month. But the trio now say they'll appeal the verdict from the International Cricket Council at the International Court of Arbitration for Sport. They were found guilty of conspiring to bowl deliberate no balls at a test match against England at Lord's last summer and effectively banned for 5 years. The players are also due to appear before a court in London on March the 17th, accused of accepting corrupt payments relating to that same match in England last August. Back to the World Cup, and the next game is the one that all of India seems to have been waiting for as another of the host nations takes on England. But the big match has been hit by a series of organisational problems. Firstly, it had to be moved to Bengaluru at short notice when Kolkata's stadium wasn't ready, and now fans are complaining about the ticket distribution. Andy Richardson reports from India.
It's the marquee fixture of cricket's World Cup group stage, England versus hosts India in Bengaluru. The sort of match every fan wants to see and every player wants to be involved in.
It's going to be a great atmosphere here in Bangalore, and I think it's one of those games that everyone dreams of playing, you know, playing against India in the World Cup on their home turf.
Getting your hands on a ticket for this match hasn't been easy, a situation not helped by the lack of a centralised ticketing system. Instead, here in India, regional cricket associations are put in charge of handing out tickets for their own individual matches. Many fans feel far too many tickets are going to those with connections or those in the corporate boxes, and far too few are filtering down to them.
It's absolutely pathetic. Honestly speaking, we've seen so many matches in this country. We've never seen such shabby preparation.
One has to ask, who is this tournament being played for? Surely not for the man on the street in India.
The sports world governing body have been left trying to explain why they don't seem to be in charge of ticketing their own event.
Ticketing sale is in the hands of the hosts. We set and agree policies with them. Some commitments are made well in advance. It's a fact of life that we have commitments to the sponsors who support us over a long period in our cycle.
This was the scene on Thursday when some tickets did go on public sale. Most fans on the receiving end only of disappointment and what local police have since described as normal practice. Demand will always outstrip supply for such games, but as the importance of matches increases at this event, so too does the scope for further ticketing chaos. Andy Richardson, AlJazeera, Bengaluru.
Germany's Martin Keimer has moved a step closer to becoming golf's new world #1 after winning through to the semi-finals of the World Match Play Championship in Arizona. Keimer beat Spain's Miguel Angel Jimenez at the final hole of their quarter-final at the Dove Mountain course. Victory over Bubba Watson in their semi-final would see Keimer take over from Lee Westwood as world #1. Luke Donald plays Matt Kuchar in the other semi. Novak Djokovic's great start to the tennis season continues after victory over Roger Federer in the final of the Dubai Championships. And it was a convincing victory. Djokovic saw off Federer 6-3, 6-3 in just 71 minutes to win his third successive Dubai title, to add to his victory in January's Australian Open, not to mention his part in Serbia's Davis Cup victory back in December.
You know, yesterday I wasn't happy with my semi-final performance, but today was an absolutely different story, and from the first to the last point I played great. It was a big challenge against Roger, as it always is, and just really happy to win a third one in a row.
Vera Zvonareva has denied the women's world #1 Caroline Wozniacki a Dubai-Doha double by beating the Dubai champion in the final of the Qatar Ladies Open. Zvonareva, the world #3, won 6-4, 6-4 to take her 11th career title and first in over a year. Manchester United are now 4 points clear at the top of the English Premier League after a 4-0 away win at Wigan Athletic. Closest challengers Arsenal did not play as they're in action against Birmingham City in Sunday's Carling Cup final. Now here are the results, with the strikers knocking them in 2 by 2. Villa's Ashley Young, Everton's Jermaine Beckford, Manchester United's Javier Hernandez and Wolves' Sylvan Ebanks-Blake all scored twice in their sides' victories. Wolves move out of the relegation zone with their win. Another informed striker, Bolton's Daniel Sturridge, earned his side a draw at Newcastle. England's rugby union team is still on course for a Six Nations Grand Slam after beating France at Twickenham. England's Ben Foden scored the only try of the game just after half-time to move England ahead. And Johnny Wilkinson's first kick after coming on as a replacement saw him retake the world point-scoring record. England now face a home game against Scotland and a trip to Ireland. Wales, meanwhile, move up to second in the Six Nations table after their win in Italy. Scotland are at home against Ireland on Sunday. Now it's the start of a new World Superbike season, with Carlos Checa on pole position for the opening round in Australia after setting a new lap record in qualifying at the Phillip Island circuit. Checa's time of 1 minute 30.882 seconds on his Ducati edged out the defending world champion Max Biaggi by just 13,000ths of a second. Phillip Island is a favourite track for Checa after his victory there last year.
Yeah, we know Ducati here is working well. I like this track, and we know we have some chance then. We work well with the race tires, and we are quite ready, no? But you never know. We try to cross fingers and keep focus in our job, and we'll see if we can make it.
Lindsey Vonn has hit back in her battle with Maria Reich at the top of the Women's Alpine Skiing World Cup by taking victory in the downhill at Ara in Sweden. It was a great return to form for Vonn, who could only manage 6th place in Friday's Super Combined. The American beat Slovenia's Tina Mays into 2nd place by 0.13 seconds. Reich, the overall World Cup leader, was 3rd, and Vonn has now closed the gap at the top of the standings to 176 points. The two women meet again in a Super G on Sunday. And that's the sport. Back to you.
Lots more details on all the stories we're covering will be found on our website, and that's, of course, at aljazeera.net/English. The weather's next, and I'll be back right after that. Welcome back to your international weather forecast. Well, across India, we're seeing a little bit of rain showers activity down towards that southeast portions, but not much to really make any accumulation. What we do need to watch out for is what is happening across the Bay of Bengal. Sri Lanka did have a break from all the flooding that they had over the last couple of weeks, but now we have another system coming in right here. We need to watch this very carefully, watch the movement. If it starts to make its way up towards the northwest, more flooding could be a potential there. Now, Karachi, Pakistan, we're looking at some temperatures that have been increasing over the last couple of days. We expect those to stay very, very high over the really to the beginning of the week, and the haze situation could also be a problem there. Down towards the southern part of Africa, we're looking at some flooding situations for Namibia as well as into parts of Angola. You can see it right here. That's going to be a problem for the next couple of days, but we're seeing some clearing conditions down towards South Africa, Johannesburg, Durban. You're going to be clearing out. Those temperatures are going to be warming up for you. In Mozambique, you will also be getting a break in your forecast. The rains will start to lighten up as well. Quickly over to the Arabian Peninsula, I want to tell you what is happening there. Temperatures have been quite warm. Doha, 28 degrees. This is what we've been seeing over the last couple of days. The haze has been a problem in the mornings especially. We're looking at Riyadh at 32 and Abu Dhabi is about 31.
If you're a Nokia user, you can download AlJazeera's news widget from Nokia's OV store. The news widget, available on compatible Nokia devices, gives users quick and easy access to real-time news updates from AlJazeera English. See the world in real time. AlJazeera Mobile.
He's taken stolen goods and he's now dumping them onto the world without any sort of consideration for consequences.
From people making the news.
If the North will be saved a lot of trouble, I think it is important that they should come together.
To those it affects.
We do accept that there was very bad mistakes made in our banking area.
Behind the headlines.
Most South Koreans are not interested in reunification.
Is the inside story. At this time on Al Jazeera.
It is in the details. A look. A connection. The moments that reveal the truth. Award-winning documentaries from critically acclaimed filmmakers. Witness documentaries to open your eyes. At this time on Al Jazeera.
As protests, violence, and the call for political reform spreads across the Arab world, Al Jazeera's in-depth coverage of events on the ground brings you the news as it breaks. Ongoing coverage of the Libya uprising on Al Jazeera.
As geeks take on dictators, bloggers turn dissidents, and social networks root for social justice, governments are going cyber, spying on their citizens, erecting firewalls like iron curtains, and closing down websites. We ask, is cyber-generated change virtual or real? Empire at this time on Al Jazeera.
A popular uprising that shook the country to its core. A defiant president under siege from his people. As the protesters took charge of the streets, we look back at the events that are changing Egypt.
I will stay on the air if I can until the police come.
In a special program, Al Jazeera gives you a day-by-day account from those that witnessed them firsthand. Egypt burning, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Ever since the end of apartheid, South Africa's cricket team, like South African society,